What's going on, Public Praise family? It's your man, Rez-A-Rec, and we're here with another great edition of Public Praise. And I'm here with a nice, good friend of mine, Mr. Lee Brumley.
How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed, man. It's good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, we just want to know a little bit about your life, a little bit about your story, because I know you have an amazing story. So why don't you tell everybody where you're from?
Originally, I was born in Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, all right.
And I grew up in Little Compton, Rhode Island.
Little Compton, Rhode Island.
Straight out of Compton.
There you go, there
Straight
you
out
go.
of Little Compton. And I reside in Taunton, Massachusetts right now.
Taunton, Massachusetts. So what brings you from Kansas City to Rhode Island to Massachusetts?
My mother and father.
And bring us all.
And I went from Rhode Island to Massachusetts because I entered a ministry at the age of 18, Teen Challenge.
So what brought you into Teen Challenge? Because Teen Challenge is a very powerful ministry in this area.
Yes, it's a ministry that ultimately changed my life inwardly for the better. I came into the doors at 18 and basically I was all over the place, from smoking weed every single day to oxys to LSD to shrooms to just a traveling prodigal son. You know what I mean?
Craziness, craziness. Sound like drugs was really something that was a part of the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what would get you out of that rut? We know obviously, God has taken you out of that rut, but we know that there's a passion that brings you to our stage today that assisted with that opening, I guess, to lead you out.
Yeah, I mean, since I was younger, I've always always loved music. My mom used to write music while she was in her bedroom. I'd hear her, and she asked me if I wanted to write music with her, and I did. And she went to school for music in Missouri. That's where she met my father. And my dad brought me up on the oldies, from Motown to the 50s, to doo-wop to, the classics, That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And
who are some of your favorites?
Well, I like Otis Redding, I love, from Otis to Sam Cooke, to the Staple Singers, Papa Staples, James Brown. I mean, the list goes on. I do, Elvis Presley, his gospel, some of his stuff.
Nice.
And and then
Great. So we know that you're an artist, and that's obviously how you would define yourself now. Would you say your style is more like a Staple Singer, Otis Redding?
I would say, my heart is worship, but I'm not confined to the box of, if you want to call a traditional, the worship you hear. Yeah. I'm more of like, I like to write music about what's happening in the world right now. And so I pretty much like the roots, the real roots, traditional soul, Al Green, gospel, way back, you know what I mean? Just, just real raw, like, Muddy Waters and, all those guys.
Wow. Well, you're kind of young to be taken to that type of music, but that's your style, huh?
That's what I feel. I'm kind of drawn to where the heart is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily drawn to like the real over mastered music. I'm really drawn to the real raw heart. You can tell when somebody's singing from the heart, and that's what I'm drawn to. When you can tell the energy.
What's the response when people hear your music? Noticing like that's an older style, but I'm sure you keep it fresh with your music. Are people mostly shocked when they hear you?
Yeah, they think I'm an old an old soul. But if they listen to me on a CD, they'll think I'm an old Southern Baptist, Southern black woman. I didn't know how to say it, other way to say it.
Hey, we get you.
You
man.
get it?
Yeah.
I just that's what I grew up in Boston and traveled into all the churches, and I really fell in love with the roots, the gospel roots, and they really kind of discipled me in that.
Awesome. So let's talk about some of your projects. I know you have a single out that's coming out or is out soon now.
I got I just had an independent single that came out about 2 months ago. I did with Ari Mendez. It's kind of a rhythm and blues. It's called To the Other Side. And also I just got signed to Old Bear Records out of upstate New York in Batavia. An awesome studio where they just they don't hold anything back. They love Jesus, and they're not afraid to do stuff that's different.
Yeah.
And I just thank God that they brought me to Old Bear Studios, and I got an album coming out in the fall with them.
Okay.
And a single that just came out last week called "Deliver Us from Evil."
Deliver Us from Evil.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. And so this will be your first project that you would have coming out?
This will be my first project with Old Bear. It'll be a full-length album with Old Bear Records.
Awesome, awesome. Have you done any tours lately?
I've done tours, not lately, but I've done here and there. Been around, a little spotty and around the country. I did a tour a couple years back in California with a gospel group called A7.
Okay.
That was an awesome time.
Now, are you involved in any other ministry? Because I know you're at a biker church out here in Holbrook, Mass.
Yep, I'm at a biker church right now, and so it fits my fancy because I get to change all these rock and roll blues songs to glorify God. I change them up, Give Me Shelter, the Rolling Stones, B.B. King. I've done AC/DC. Have changed stuff to all different types of music. And we want to reach the unchurched people. We take them to this extreme, and we bring them to the heart of the matter, and that's Christ first.
Awesome, awesome. Well, what we have here is a young guy doing blues type of music, coming from Teen Challenge to a biker church. Nothing sounds ordinary or orthodox about his whole lifestyle. But listen, if you want to hear some more of Eric's music, you got to stay tuned, because I'm telling you, you're going to be blessed by what he's bringing. Listen, keep it locked on us, because you're going to hear some more of him, and you're going to get to know a little bit more about the ministry, all right? Y'all keep it locked. We'll be blessed.